Hello everybody, in this tutorial I'm going to show you some basic shading. What I want you to do is get a piece of paper, and again I'm using one of the 4 squares out of the entire 8x11 piece of printer paper. Draw 6 boxes, and in those boxes I want you to draw some circles. You have to be 6 circles, of course, and here's what it looks like. And I already pre-draw some stuff because I'm very perfectionist-y, and I have to, you know, I'll spend forever on just these boxes, and that's a waste of time when I'm showing something. So, the first one we're going to do is contour, and for all these we're going to have our sun coming from this way, from this direction. Whee! My lovely little sun. We're going to start off with contour because what contour is basically an outline. So what we're going to do is do a little bit of a circle. And this is why I'm doing it with pen and marker. So our sun will hit right there, and we'll give it a little bit more right there. And our shadow. So that's pretty much how all the other ones are going to be. So we know where our lighting from, our highest point, our lightest point, and our darkest point, and where our shadow will be. So now that we know that, we will start with hatching. And what hatching is using lines in one direction. So diagonally is the most common. So we're going to start with our lowest point. And what we'll do, we'll draw some lines farthest apart. And then down here at the bottom, some close together. For darkest point, shorter and closer together would work best. Remember, make sure they're in the same direction. And then start adding on to that as you go up. A little bit farther apart, a little bit longer. You do long and short. Remember, our highlight is about right here. I'm not going to draw it because I'm using marker. And since it's a rounded object, you kind of want to make it seem like it's rounded. So as you're shading, keep that in mind. So we're going to have a little bit more on this side and a little bit more on this side, and kind of scarce throughout. We don't want it too dark up close to the top. And then our shadow, we're going to have it in one direction. That's going to be opposite. It's going to be horizontal. I couldn't think of the name. Or almost horizontal. Obviously I cannot speak tonight. Hello. See, I told you I'm a perfectionist. I'm going back and fixing things again. Hello. Alright. So the second one is cross hatching. Basically just as it says, hatching, but instead of going one way, we are now going 2. That one helps a little bit more as far as shapes go. So don't know really how I want to start it. We'll start up. We're kind of going to do the same thing. So we know where our highlight point is. We're going to do the very long lines. And then our shorter lines in our other direction. Try to keep them minimalist. You kind of want to do the same technique I showed you with this one, the shorter and then longer lines as you go to the light point. And I'm probably confusing you because I know what I mean. And when you're cross hatching, you're going to be doing 2 different styles. And I add an extra direction in there sometimes just because I do that. You can do that sometimes, so. Cross-hatching also helps give it a more dimensionalized look, so it's more rounded compared to that one, of course. And of course the same for the shadow. Darkest point would be right here on both of them, so you don't even have to worry, you can just fuse it together. And then we contour. And I'm going to leave a note. It's an outline. Just because I need a note. And then we have Scribble. Sorry, I moved papers up. Basically as it says, but you could do cross hatching on this one. Doesn't have to be perfect as long as you can tell there's some direction to it. And definite shading. If you can't tell, it's like late. I'm weird, I know. Tend to talk to myself. It's kind of weird talking to a camera trying to explain something and not have that human interaction. I'm not used to it, so bear with me. I'm trying to keep my finger out of the camera view. You can add as many as you want. Scribbles can be pretty too. Except for mine looks like it's being taken over. The next one would be Stippling. Stippling I find works better if you're using a marker, but you can use colored pencils if you're really good at it. And so since we have our highlight, let's kind of do a couple here at the top so we know where it's at. And then let's go to the bottom. Closer together when you're doing darker points, and then farther apart when you're doing lighter points. In fact, I probably have too many near the light spot anyways, or highlight. It's gonna take me a while, so probably should have got a thicker marker, but that's okay. But you could see the general idea. Sometimes I just tend to color them together if it works, because darker points you kind of can't tell anyways. I guess we'll kind of stop there. Or not. Of course, you can't forget the shadow. You need your little direction. This one we'll do for another time because we're going to be basic shading. And we will do that with a 5B. So there's all of yours. You have hatching, cross-hatching, outline, the scribble, and your stippling. See you in the next tutorial.